Hey there, it's Malia from MaliaHolleran.com, and I want to welcome you to today's business intervention. Thank you so much for joining us, and as always, I have a wonderful panel of women in business. We're all different business owners from all walks of life, and we have come together to share with you our insight, our knowledge, our experience, our talent to help you to create a thriving business. So again, I'm Malia Holleran, and I'm going to I'm going to allow my panel to introduce themselves. Let's start with Erica. Hi,
Uh,
Erica.
Good morning. Well, my name
Welcome.
is Eric, and I'm the owner of Bridge Treats, and I make special treats for every occasion.
Yes, you do. They are very special and custom and very amazing. So thank you so much for being here, Erica.
You're welcome.
And Ree, tell us about you.
Hi, everybody. My name is Ree Williams. I'm a longtime entrepreneur, small business development expert, consultant, coach, and I'm the founder of In the Pink, which is a online supportive hub supporting women small business owners to their desired levels of success.
Yes, and you're working with women all over the country, right?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am. All over the world, really, with the courtesy of social media and connections, and then being able to just do telephone coaching. So yeah, I have access to people all over the world now.
Very cool. And Jasmine, tell us about you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen of the.
Did Jasmine get kicked in? That's okay.
Yes.
Did something happen?
Yeah, Jasmine
Yeah.
got kicked
Oh,
out. She
oh,
said she keeps getting kicked out.
okay. Well,
There she
while
is.
we wait for her to come back,
And I'm
go
back.
ahead.
I'm so sorry I keep getting kicked off, but hopefully I can get through my introduction. I'm with Passion Parties International, United States and Canada, and I like to call myself a relationship guru. I speak with women and men couples about relationship enhancement tools as well as relationship enhancing and being intimate um, and being and feeling great about yourself.
Awesome. Hold on one moment. We're having a few technical difficulties, so I'm trying to get the link out so people can actually watch the Hangout live on YouTube. Um, so we, I'm seeing actually a few viewers trickling in. So that is one of the wonders of the internet, but the show must go on. And so whether
Yes.
you're watching live or you're watching the recording, I want to let you know that I appreciate you and thank you for being here. And this business intervention is actually um, a, a show that I'm hosting every Thursday at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. So make sure that you put it in your calendar because this is just our time where we can talk about the struggles in our business and not focus on the struggles, but really focus on solutions that are going to help each of us to grow in business. Um, and I just think it's really important to focus on solutions because not everybody has the support out there that they need. And so we want to create a space where you can come and get answers to questions that you've been wondering about or issues that you've been struggling with. Um, we are a community of all different types of business and experience, and I really believe that together we can help each other to grow. So, again, thank you so much for being here. Today we're going to talk. Last week we were talking about email marketing, about having a newsletter, and I wanted to pick up that discussion because just in my wanderings online, I saw someone comment that email marketing is dead, and
Hmm.
um, I can understand why people might think that, but I don't know. I know you use email marketing in your business. have you seen a drop-off in the number of opens or people that are responding to your email marketing?
Um, it just depends. It depends on what time of year it is. In the summertime, of course, but I'm always prepared for that because I know that people are preoccupied with doing other things. And then now going into Thanksgiving and Christmas holiday season, there will be another drop off because people are preoccupied with doing other things. But of course, my best months are January through April, where people are excited. They are in tune with their New Year's resolutions. So after April, everybody is back to their normal selves, not worried about the resolutions anymore, and so then it kind of gets into that rut. But you only have about 4 good months. I tell people all the time, you only have about 4 months out of a year where you can actually capture the attention of your audience, and that's just everybody. People are not focusing; they don't focus. Everybody is trying to do their own thing. We live in a time now where everybody's trying to be a business owner. Everybody's trying to make it, trying to make money, get you to buy what they have. But one of the things that I do pride myself in doing is I encourage people to disengage from me. I encourage people to drop off of my email list because I want to keep as clean database as I possibly can, and I don't want to. I want to stay a constant contact all-star. That's number one. But I don't want them to mess up my open rates. So if you're not interested, then go ahead and unsubscribe. I appreciate that. I do it myself. If something's not interesting me anymore, then I unsubscribe. Nothing personal. It's just I don't, I'm not there anymore. So one of the things people have to do is they have to make sure that they are not just trying to collect so they can see numbers that make them feel good. It's about people. It's about the open rates. When you do email marketing, e-newsletters, e-specials, whatever it is you're doing via email, or you have to make sure that you're being true to it so that it can give you the results that can help your business. And if you got 10,000 people in your email database and you send them out a blast and only 25 people are opening that, then you're in trouble. You're in trouble. There's all people that are not connecting to you, and so you have to just make sure that you're connecting with people who are interested in what you have to offer, what you have to say.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. I think people get caught up in numbers, and especially for me, being an internet marketer, people will kind of talk about how big their list is. I have a list of 2,000, and as if that is a prize or something like that. And it is wonderful, sure, but I would rather have a list of 200 people that respond to what I have to say than 2,000 people who could care less. And so when it comes down to actually making money and monetizing your list, it really doesn't matter how big your list is. Really, what matters is how responsive your list is. A list
exactly. That's a good point.
More money than a list of 10,000.
That's right, and that's what people have to understand, and that's the things that I always try to convey to my clients and people that I speak to about business. Is you got to know how to look at those numbers, and a lot of times, especially women in business, we as women are so emotional, and we want to look at those numbers as if people actually like us, and they don't. I go to Facebook pages all the time for people who are becoming my clients who say, oh, I have 41,000 people who like my Facebook page. And as I scroll through their Facebook page, there's like 6 people responding every day, and they're not even commenting. They're just hitting the like button. And so if you got 40,000, if you got 2,000 people on your Facebook page and nobody's responding, that means that these people are not listening to you. Something is not connecting, and you're not engaging them, in the place that they need you to engage them in. So it's not about those high numbers, because if you go, I want you guys to do it for real. Go to Facebook pages and just look at pages that got 20, 30, 40,000, 90,000 people who have liked those pages, and scroll down and see the engagement. You will be shocked. Nobody is saying anything. They're not saying anything. They're not responding. There's no way you should have thousands of people on your Facebook page and nobody responds to it.
Yeah,
You know?
definitely.
So, yeah, it becomes a waste of time, and that's one of the reasons why I got rid of the Independent Facebook page, because it was just, a lot of times, you guys know, like I know, the world we live in, everybody's trying to get theirs, and people come to Facebook groups, Facebook pages, really to just promote. A lot of people just come so they can just post their promotion. They come to see if they're going to get some free business advice that's going to help them make millions of dollars, instead of investing in themselves, so that they can really get to a point where they can create a business that will get them to those monetary places they desire to go. But a lot of people are just coming to Facebook groups. They're coming to Facebook pages to see what kind of nuggets they can get for free without spending a dime. People don't want to spend any money. They don't want to invest in themselves, but they want to get everything from everybody, and so they can make themselves, billionaires with big houses and airplanes and fancy cars.
Yeah, definitely. Jasmine, do you have a newsletter?
No, actually, I don't. And that is something that I have to, not even an option, I have to incorporate into my business, because I do have quite a few things that I do need to have in one spot for people, a one-stop shop for people, such as recipes or relationship advice and things like that. And I need to keep them abreast of it. Without a newsletter and having everything in one place. It gets a little confusing. So that is something that I have to incorporate into my business.
Yeah. One thing when I talk about this, one thing I think people get overwhelmed, like they feel like their newsletter has to be, 5 different sections and color coded, and the beautiful header, and those things are all nice, but really when I talk about newsletter, it can be loose. It can simply be, an email, any type of email marketing that you're doing. And because I think people tend to get overwhelmed, like they feel like it has
That's what happens. That's
all
what
this
happens.
stuff. But it really doesn't. It can be as simple, just an email. Like, what if you had a new recipe, like a fun recipe, and you just wanted to send that out? You could do that. It doesn't really have to be anything prolific, or you're not Best Buy. I get I get Walmart's email. Sometimes I'll go to Walmart on my phone or whatever, and I guess they have cookies on their website, and the email that they send me has the thing I was looking at, and then other things like that, and then you're like, oh my goodness, overwhelmed with how amazing they know what I'm thinking and all this stuff. It doesn't have to be all that. It can be a recipe, and that's it.
Where I get stuck. That's where
It could be a letter to a friend. Not a letter to a friend, but when you write that recipe, simply, hey, I've been trying out this new recipe, and I wanted to share it with you. And just a recipe, that could be it. Or different events. We talked about you doing online parties and stuff like that. It could just be an announcement. It doesn't have to be anything great. I think what differentiates a good newsletter or email from others is value. And so if you have something of value to share and you do that consistently, people will open it. There are those people whose list I'm on, and I look forward to opening their email because I know there's going to be a good idea or suggestion, or, the personal ones too. Like, I want to know what their kids were for Halloween because they integrate their, personal life into their business. That's not appropriate for all businesses, of course, but for some it may be. Obviously small business like Erica, who's, making treats and cupcakes, isn't going to talk about, her kids and their football game. It's just not relevant. But for some, it may, be. So yeah, I would just start building a list and getting people on there and just start sharing.
But you know, you can always make anything you want relevant to your business, and that's the trick of the trade. Is that you
Absolutely.
know, if Erica's making treats and all of that, her children can be relevant if she takes treats to her son's football team and the whole team gets treats. I mean, you can, and those are the types of things, you know, that you have to you have to be creative. And that's where that whole marketing thing comes in. You got to understand how to create things that make people excited. And so I think, Jasmine, you asked a question about how often
Yeah.
that we should send out I do a monthly. I don't like if you send me something every day, every other day, every week, I'm deleting myself from your list because I get so many emails every day and I just don't have time for that. So people who do that, I just have to delete myself because they're doing too much. Once a month is fine. If I know that you do a monthly newsletter, I'm expecting it, you know, and I'll set it aside and on my days where I just kind of read, and that's what I'll do. I'll look at your you know, newsletter. I get a lot of e-newsletters from people asking me to critique them for them. Um, and so I had a lady that was sending me something every day, and I was like, what are you doing? Why are you sending out mass emails every single day? You know, why don't you just compile that into a newsletter at least every 2 weeks? I could even go with every 2 weeks. But every single day you're sending me out
So do you think?
information, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was going to ask, do you think it depends on the business that you're conveying as to whether it should be once a month or every couple of weeks?
I don't know any business that needs to send me something every day. I really don't. I mean, unless you are like my financial planner, and you know the interest rates go up and down daily. I mean, yeah, that's what I'm interested in seeing that. But no, I don't know any business that really needs to communicate with their audience every single day, unless you like send Bible verses, daily Bible verses. I mean, how you know there are people
That's
who
it.
can create a reason to communicate, and I'm gonna tell you, I used to be on Rev Ron's email list, and he
Mm.
sends emails out every single day, inspirational quotes, emails. When you create something like that and people start to expect it, then that's a little different. Um,
Yeah.
but if you're talking about business, buying something that you have, I think being able just to compile that, like I say, even every 2 weeks is cool. But every week, I do weekly emails, but that's to people who are expecting them because they're getting weekly assignments, they're getting weekly challenges or whatever. So there, you know, there has to be some meaning as to why you're doing it every week, every day, every you know, monthly. I think is just cool. I think it's good because you can put everything in there.
Yeah, I think anything that you choose consistently is good. So I was just thinking this morning, I need to do something weekly because I do a lot of online events that I want to tell people about. So if I did like a Sunday, this is happening during the week, um, things like that, and then I may or may not during the week remind them of what's going on. So I think it kind of depends on your business and how you structure it. And I also think that it's important to be consistent because even with these, like you guys know, I'm getting used to doing Thursday hangouts and getting
Right.
in my schedule. And two people asked me, "Why do you wait till the last minute to tell us?" And that, well, first of all, it's like, oh, I feel so horrible. But regardless, it's encouraging because I know there are people out there who need what we have to offer and they want to come. And so now I have to figure out something consistent that I can do that is going to build this up because it is serving other people. So integrating some type of consistency really comes in handy, especially when people want to be a part of what you're doing and want to support you. Then they know what to expect. And it's kind of like I do the 4:30 posts, and kind of like you said, Ree, when people then start to expect you to post, then you have to do it with that frequency, whether it's daily, weekly, monthly, or whatever it is. if you do what you're doing right, people will expect it. And when you don't do it, they will ask you, hey, what happened? You know, so anything consistently is good.
You know, a good
You know,
thing
I
for
look
people to
forward to
do
the Pink newsletters once a month. I know they're coming,
is
and I
coming
look forward
today.
to reading them and seeing all the stuff in there.
Yeah, and that just came from people like you who've said some things to me. You know, they like, oh, you know, and I ask people, what is it that you want to know? What do you need to know? What do you need to be reminded of? But to go back to what you were saying, one of the things I think people need in business is they need a system. They need systems that make sense and that relate to their business and to their audience. And one of the things that I noticed as a business coach is that a lot of people are not using all of the technology, all of the things offered. You know, you have to use your newsletter, your website, and social media all together. That's the team. That's your team. If you can't afford to hire a marketing team for thousands of dollars a month, then you have one. You got Facebook, Twitter, your website, and you have your email. That's your marketing team, and you have to use them in conjunction with one another. So for me, people know that I'm going to be on Facebook, and that if I don't post on Facebook, I get email inboxes going, oh, are you okay? Where are you? And I already know that they're looking at. I don't have a large number of people on Facebook. I think my Facebook friend number is like 440. I don't need thousands of people in that particular spot to communicate with me because I have thousands of people who get my e-newsletter every month, and then that goes to my website. So I don't really use. I mean, Facebook is a part of the team, but it's not the whole team, and I can't. As a business owner, I can't rely on Facebook, and I'm waiting for Facebook to be no more. I'm waiting one day to wake up and they pulled the plug on Facebook. And that's why I have this. I did that work early on, and I drove everybody to my database. And you'll see me periodically asking people if you want to sign up to be on my email list. You know, go to the website and sign up because I need to drive them. The people that I connect to, I can't depend on Facebook to hold them for me. I'm a business owner, so I got to hold them for myself. So I have to drive them to where they can see, they can get to me all the time, and in capturing their connections, their contact information, I can get to them as well. You know, so but you have to use everything that you have. So if people know that you're blogging, like Malia gives her post, and I have become very accustomed to waking up every day for about the last month. I'm seeing either her 4:30 post or now is it the motivational? You're posting something motivational.
Yeah.
And if you go to Malia's page, that is a perfect, it can't get any better than what she's posting. Everything's there. She is not only posting, sorry, it's live, that's Trevi. She's not only posting, but she's giving information and she's asking you questions. Oh, Trevi, kill it. She's asking you questions, and that's engaging you. That's getting you to respond to her. And the way that she's doing it is so savvy because it makes people feel good to share. People love to share
Yeah.
information about their day, how they feel, what they're experiencing. And so I'm telling you, if you want to learn how to do that, go to her page and look at those questions. But you got to remember that is how Malia's business is set up. It's set up that way. My business is very different.
Hmm.
I'm just going to kind of give you some information, and then the people that I'm in tune with they already know me. They know my personality. They know the post. I've had people go, "Oh, I saw something, and it just reminded me of you. It just sounded like you were talking." That is, I'm not gonna. Malia's nice. She's so sweet. My posts aren't really like that. They're a little different. I kind of want to build you. I want to kind of forewarn you, and I want to get you to see you kind of as the main ingredient. And so they're very different. But if you want to engage people and build, that's where you start. I'm telling you, if just go to her page and check them out. They're very interesting, and it's nice to see the responses that people are giving, and that's how you build your audience.
Thank you. I think that you made a really good point. It's really about being you because you and I communicate in different ways, and I
Right.
think that that is shown in the way that we communicate online. Like, I'm not trying to be you. I don't have the personality for it. And the other day you posted somebody stole your post and claimed it as their own.
I know. I said
And
Mhm.
I just love seeing my posts
I know
reincarnate as somebody else's bright idea of the day.
I was going to put something sarcastic, but just thinking about that, if I like copy and pasted your post, people would be like calling 911 saying, lady, are you okay? It's not me, you know?
Right.
And that one thing, though, one thing I love, Erica, about what you do is I really do feel like you incorporate your business into your life, like what Ree was saying. I love, and not only that, like you share your kids, like Journey is an entrepreneur, and one of your sons is as well. And I love that you share um, not only your path, but the way that you're inspiring others. It starts at home to do the same. Are those things that you I know that you share them with your audience, but can you see how you could integrate that into your newsletter and building a relationship with people?
Yeah, I do, for the simple fact that, a lot of people say I'm very inspiring when it comes to my children, because like I tell them all the time, I said, you guys can be entrepreneurs yourself. I said, there's so many different resources and connections. I said, you just have to use them. And with them watching TV, they take that and they're like, Mom, I want to, be a firefighter, or Elijah wants to be a football player. If that doesn't work out, I said, well, maybe you can coach a football team. There's so many different aspects in life where you can do something. So the funny thing, last night I was talking to Joshua, because Joshua's always the one who's quiet. You never really hear anything. I asked Joshua, I said, so what do you want to do? He said, well, I have two options. He says, I like football or a bodybuilder. This boy, he came in the room lifting weights, doing, crunches, everything, you name it. So what I did, I connected him to a bodybuilder that I know on Facebook that trains bodybuilders now. He's following him on Instagram. But the funny thing, Joshua showed me his Instagram and his Facebook. He's already following some bodybuilders. He's even met some. I said, well, wait.
He's made the
Where was I at? Because one day we were out, and he was like, Mom, he's such and such. I'm like, oh, okay. He was a bodybuilder, big guy. So I told Joshua, I said, well, if your first option doesn't work out, I said, let's continue and, look at bodybuilding. I said, because you can be a bodybuilder, but then you can also train. Because one of my friends now, he goes all over the United States, and he has different teams all over where he's training. So he's just building this empire. So I was showing Joshua different ways of being a bodybuilder or training him himself. So
there's so many. You're right, and I like that you share with you. But your kids are always with you, Erica, and that's so cool. They're with you all the time, and you don't just take them out to the mall, but you take your kids to where you're doing business. I can't tell you how many expos you've done of my expos in San Diego, and there you were. I was like, she's like, I got Joshua helping me today, or I got the kids helping me today, and they're there. And not only are they seeing you, but I watched them at my expos. I watched especially Journey. Journey's working the road, and she's going to each booth to see who does what. And so, the boys have done. They've gone to certain things that kind of catch their eye, But that is kind of what it's about. Is you have to expose your children, to your business so that they can have those better options. And I like that about you. And then I think you've gotten a lot of business because of your children. Their peers are having birthday parties and graduations and all kinds of things, and people know And one thing about you, you'll pop that card out in a minute and tell someone, hey, I do treats for every occasion. I'll be like, yeah, she get some snacks from Erica.
Don't start with the snacks.
Somebody called her treats one time. They called them snacks. But I think all of that works, and I think everybody should have really, really dynamic ways of communicating. And I don't know, Malia, you chime in and let me know. I think Malia said it earlier. I don't really think it has to be anything formal like a newsletter. Like I think Malia said it. Even if you have a small database and you want to just build that, a simple email.
Yeah.
Hey, how you doing? Whatever, just giving them information about some highlights about what's going on with you, just to stay connected, because people's attention span is from one thing to the next.
Yeah.
And this is it's tough. I don't ever believe that like economy causes. Look, people always have money for what they want.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care what's going on. But in order for you to make sure that they have money for what you want them to have money for as it relates to your business, you gotta stay connected to them, and just a simple hello, or a simple hey, what, hadn't heard from you in a while. It just, like I said, it just depends on how your business is structured, like Malia said, and that should dictate, or that should help you know how you're going to communicate with your audience.
Definitely. I completely agree with you. So one thing that I wanted to talk about, so we've talked about a newsletter, why it's important. Hopefully everyone understands that they should have one, and if you don't, let me tell you right now, you should have one. No matter what business you're in, whether it's online or offline, you need that. Think of your newsletter or your list. Your list of email addresses is an asset. Okay? It is a very valuable asset. In fact, many businesses are in business because to buy lists. So when you think about like Barnes and Noble, they shut down, right? Well, one of the big companies bought their list. That's it. That was an asset. It's worth money. It's an actual tangible asset that's worth something. My husband works for a company called Youngevity. It's a multi-level marketing company, and they buy companies that are failing, not because they need more products and services, but it's one of the ways that they increase their distributorship. They buy lists. And so big companies, big businesses see the value in that asset. We're small businesses, we're entrepreneurs, we're moms, whatever it is, however you want to identify yourself. Going back to Business 101, an asset is worth money. It's an asset. It's worth money to you. So when you start treating your business like a business, then you will begin to understand the value of having that asset in your business. So I want you to now think about how you can start building your list. So it may be one email address at a time, fine. But earlier we talked about, it's not about the size of the list. Certainly you can go buy email addresses, but I'll tell you firsthand knowledge, that's a whole bunch of crap. Those lists, those databases that are for sale online are not people who are interested in you or your business, and they don't know you. So don't buy or purchase any leads or any lists like that online. It will be a waste of money. How do you, Jasmine? Are you here?
Yeah, she's there.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here.
Frozen.
I keep getting pissed off, but I'm here.
So you have, I'm sure that you have some like email addresses, correct, that you could add to your
That
newsletter
is correct.
when you start it?
When my customers fill out their order forms, I ask them at that moment because I do have
Mhm.
Can you guys hear her?
No,
No,
she's. I think she's about to be off again.
Okay.
hello.
Yeah, she's
no,
there.
she said.
Jasmine, can you hear me?
Okay, I'm here. I asked them at the time. Um, I think we're all in. I think.
Yeah,
Mhm.
go ahead.
As far as my email list, because my business is of a sensitive nature, I do ask them at the time of them placing their order or filling out any information from me if it is okay for me to send them my information. And at that moment, I do make sure that they are over 18. So with it being such a sensitive nature, I have to be very, very picky.
Awesome. And very good point. So one of the best times to ask for somebody's email address is when they're at their highest level. So that would be when they just purchased your product or service, when you've just gave them some valuable information, if you have a great resource there, that's the best time. Erica, for you, when you deliver your cupcakes, a great thing to ask is, can I add you? Would you like to receive, monthly discounts from me, or can I add you to my newsletter? I'd love to have you on there. No one's going to say no. They're all excited. They just got cupcakes.
That's true. And I guess with me, a lot of my clients, we talk via email, or I send their invoice via email. So I already have their information. I just have to incorporate that when I'm talking to them, so I can add them to my database. And I know they'll be excited, especially to get a discount.
Yeah, I know. You better email me the discount. I'll be real excited. All my marketing advice for Erica is to benefit me.
To get a treat. There's nothing wrong with that.
I'm just kidding. Obviously, I'm Erica's customer. But I think okay, so I agree with you. One thing I want to warn people of is don't just add people to your email list, because it's one of the most annoying things in the entire world. So I don't know if you've ever been to a networking event and you give someone your business card and then all of a sudden you're getting a barrage of emails from them.
Yeah.
It can be frustrating. For me, I just want to pull them aside and talk to them and say, don't do this. But make sure you ask people if they'd like to receive information from you. And most likely people will say yes, but it's just a courtesy to ask people, because then they're expecting an email from you. And I think that as a business,
Can I ask
Yeah.
Now, what about the current clients, that you have already? Like, clients already I have their email addresses. Do I send out a general email saying, hey, I'm going to be doing a monthly newsletter for Brilliant Treats. I'm wondering if I can add you?
Yes.
How?
I would do that exactly, because that gives you a reason to reconnect.
Okay.
So,
Don't ask them like that. See, this is where the creativity in marketing comes.
right.
What you can say to them is, "Hi, first let me thank you so much for supporting my business. What I'm going to start doing is I'm going to be doing a monthly newsletter, just loaded with wonderful things about different treats and some exciting, Brilliant Treats news and discounts for you. I'll be adding all of you to my database so that you can receive my monthly newsletter. Then you put at the bottom, if you do not want to receive this newsletter, just respond with do not add. That's how you can put them on that list. You've already told them you were putting them on the list. If they don't want to be on the list, then they have the responsibility to let you know they don't want to be on the list.
Yes,
So,
exactly. That's what I suggest as well. I would also, Erica, in that I would say I wouldn't say discounts. I don't like discounting products because I think that your value is your value. But what I would ask for is their birthday and their anniversary.
Okay. And then at
You
that
know, can
time,
I?
send out some type of special.
Well, what I would say is, I'm super excited. I'm starting a new newsletter, and I'm doing birthday, I'm doing birthday and anniversary treats or something like that. Please respond. Let me know when your birthday and anniversary is because I'd love to send you, a treat of the month or something like that. So let them know that you're doing your newsletter, you're excited, great things are happening in your business, but you also want to capture more information from them,
Hmm.
depending on your promotion. If you're not going to do a birthday and anniversary thing, fine. But in one of your emails, you want to start capturing more information from them.
Okay.
And then
I would say capture that
ongoing,
information when they place their order. I
yeah,
mean,
and that's what I was
when
going to
they
say.
place their order,
Ongoing,
I
you
would
want,
get all their info. I'd get their
yeah,
birthdays, any special days that they'd like me to keep in my database. And as a matter of fact, when they place their order, from here on out, you can say to them, thank you so much for your order. I'll be adding you to my email list so that you won't miss any exciting news about Brilliant Treats. And at that time, you ask them also, let Brilliant Treats, keep track of all of your special days so that we send you out reminders, however you word it. But
yes.
you do that, and then that way you have that information so that you can then,
You can
20
capture
days
it in the beginning.
prior, you can email them or whatever. I mean, there's so many things you can do with your newsletter because it's kind of fun. It's based on making people excited about, celebrating whatever special day they have. So there's so many creative things that can be done with that. But yeah, you have to just create it so that it is definitely your business and it speaks directly to the people who are used to hearing you talk. It can't be something that's very, it has to be relatable.
Yeah.
Everything has to be relatable. It has to be crafted. It has to have charisma. I mean, that is the main ingredient into getting somebody to buy something from you. You got to
Yeah,
be
and
charismatic enough to get them to spend their money.
I think you naturally have charisma. So I think it's about being you. Like, don't be afraid of what people are going to think or am I doing it right or whatever. Just be you.
Oh yeah, definitely. And it's no right or it's never a wrong. It's never ever, and that's why I like to tell people. I don't even know. Who cares? As long as I like it, it makes me feel good. It looks like it's connecting. My business, my what I'm all about to the people that I'm communicating with. Don't overthink this whole thing. Don't overthink anything in business because you'll just be sitting there forever thinking about it.
So
Just do it.
I think,
Just put it out there. I'm serious. Like one of my friends, said when we were down in Arkansas, he was like, I do videos and they don't even be good videos. They just videos with my phone. I mean, we're overthinking all of this. We're overthinking photos and videos.
Right.
It's
Right.
too much. Just look, you know what? If all you got, go in your bathroom and take a selfie and put that on your marketing information. If that's
don't
all
do
you
that.
got, that's all you got.
Don't
Right.
do
If you don't have any money, hey, I'm telling you something. If you don't have the money to get pro photos, you better use what you have until you can get to the level where you can afford a pro photo. If you
Okay,
don't
well then
have,
you step outside your front door. Don't go in the bathroom. That's
well,
the
go in front of
worst.
the bushes. Who cares where you go? Go in front of the bushes and take a picture.
Just
but
make sure
we're
the
just
window
we're
is clean in the bathroom.
we're just overthinking all of this. And one of my good Facebook friends, her name is Carol Sankar, she said something that really made so much sense. She said, I have, and we always talk about men versus women. You will never see men doing any of this. You'll never see men sending each other motivational quotes, inspirational quotes. You'll never see men telling other men, oh, it's how you say it, uplift with your words. You'll never hear men speaking like that. You will, like she said, she's got clients who are men who don't have websites. They have Yahoo email accounts. They don't have any professional photos. They don't have Facebooks. They don't do Twitter. They just do business. And that's what we got to get back to is we got to, and that's why I push my clients. I don't play. I don't want to hear none of that fluff. I don't want to see you on a red carpet. I don't want to see you taking any pictures. And you're broke. Come on, stop it. I don't want to see none of that foolishness. All I want to see you doing is focusing and building your business so that when you get to a status, a dollar status, an audience status, where you can get on the red carpet, that's when you get on the red carpet. But I do not encourage people to overthink this business thing. You have to work with what you got. And before Facebook, people was Kodak, snap a picture, keep it pushing. I mean,
Right.
it's just you have to work with what you have. And if you can only work with a camera, an iPhone camera or Android, whatever you got, if that's all you have to take your picture and it's a nice picture, slap that picture right on your face, on your website, and keep moving. It is, it's just, and if all you have is Gmail or Yahoo and you can't afford a domain or you don't understand the value of using your own, domain name, hey, you go ahead, use your Gmail, use your Yahoo. If you got to print your business cards up at your desk in your house, print them up, Then you have to work with what you have. Don't overthink any of this business stuff because what really counts, trust me, what really counts and what gets in the bank account is when what you have to offer resonates with the people who actually need what you have.
Yeah.
That's what counts. That's the most important thing is connect. Everybody's trying to look so pretty and so professional.
That's true.
I've seen the best of the best websites, and I got excited, and I wrote them websites down and went to them websites and called people. They ain't even got no business. Yeah. What are you doing? They don't even have a business.
I think a lot of that comes from comparing. You see other people and they look all buttoned up and put together, and you feel like that's what you need. And if you don't have that, you feel inadequate. But the reality is that you're looking at somebody else's end and comparing that to your beginning. I guarantee you the first thing that they did when they started was not put up that glamour shot and website. And so you have to get started. You have to do something. And that's, too, why I said with the email newsletter, it does not have to be anything prolific. It just has to be something. And, when I first started, I resisted building a list for so long and then realized that I wasn't going to make money unless I built a list. And I was going to have to go back to work full-time if I didn't start making money. So I started putting people on my list. The first person I put on my list was my mom. It was my mom, but at least I had someone to talk to. And then it was the next person. I didn't feel like I was emailing no one. And then when I called my mom in the morning, she'd ask me about what so when is that webinar? So I'm like, how do you know my webinar? She reads my emails still.
Tried that. My mother told me, please stop sending me these crazy ass emails. I think she unsubscribed.
But still, it may start out with your mom, your friend, your family. Just put your husband on there or your kid. It doesn't matter. Anyone that where you feel like where you can email them and then build it. My goal personally is to add 3 to 5 people per day to my newsletter list. So 100 a month would be 5 people a day. I only work 5 days a week. And that is written down. That's one of the things that I do every single week because I'm committed to building my business and building relationships with people. And so just start somewhere. It doesn't, mine doesn't have any pictures or anything like that. It's just words. It's nothing to write home about, certainly. But I just started. And that's what I want to encourage you guys to do. We're not going to talk about this next week because we talked about it last week and this week, but I will check in and see, who started. And I do have an assignment before we go.
Uh-oh. We have homework.
You have homework. You have homework.
Oh, God, Jesus.
Is to post wherever it is you post, if it's Facebook, if it's LinkedIn or Twitter or your blog or whatever it is, create a post that says something to the effect of, if you would like to sign up for my newsletter, send me an email or click here to go sign up. You can phrase it however you want to phrase it, but I want you to actively invite people to sign up for your newsletter. And maybe no one responds. That's not the point. The point is that you actively did something to begin to build your assets, to begin to build your list.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, that's easy.
I like that because that means for me, I have to create a newsletter because I don't have anywhere to point anyone to.
Well, at first create your, start with that list. Really and truly, start with the list. Start and it doesn't have to be in Excel. You can keep a great list in Microsoft Word. Just hit return after every email address. That's it. You can cut and paste that any way you want. But you can keep a good list in Microsoft Word. I do so many things in Word, people would not believe it that's Microsoft Word, but it is. And so it just like Malia said, start somewhere. But Malia's made a good point, a great point, and I think it went kind of whispered a little bit. Once you create that list and you start to send those emails, her key word was it's got to be consistent.
Right.
It has to be consistent. And I get on people all the time. People know, you already know, I'm just like the small business mama. I'm gonna get on you. I'm gonna tell you straight up, no, that don't even look right. If I get something from you 1 month and I'll get interested and I don't hear from you for like 3 months, I'm gonna send you an email and be like, are you still in business? What's going on? And I think that's where people kind of fall off, is the consistency. I'm telling you, Malia, you should have shouted that from the rooftops, because it's the consistency that gets people. There are people who start off with a bang. I'm sure, Malia, you've seen them.
I've been one of them.
They start off with a bang, and then whatever happens, whatever goes on behind the scenes that takes the wind out of your sails. And that's one of the things that I learned from Alex, and everybody knows Alex Montgomery. That's my shout out to AD. That's my business coach. And so one of the things that I learned from him, and he rides my behind about it all the time, is you stay consistent, you stay true to yourself, because in your truth is your treasure. And I have made a lot of money being who I am consistently. People know who I am. You know me. And I even went one step further to tell people. And I was afraid to say this, but if you go to my website and you look at my online membership, you're going to see like a blurb that I was a little apprehensive about putting up there, but it's real. I don't buy into anything that I have if you do 1, 2, and 3, because I don't have time for I don't have time for that. And so you have to kind of be able to not only be consistent and give people something great. You gotta tell you have to be able to tell people, like I always tell people, yeah, you get excited about coaching with me, but let's first have a conversation to see if I'm even the coach for you.
Yeah.
You may not like my personality. I may not like your personality. So all of that stuff goes hand in hand. And so a lot of that, what happens is people get on email lists. I've gotten on email lists before, and the language that people were using, or just the tone, either I was bored, it sounded contrived, it just didn't resonate. And so you have to always be true and tell people, look, this is who I am, this is what I have to offer. If this is who you are, this is what you like, come on. If not, this ain't the place for you. I'll tell you in a minute, this ain't the place for you. I'm not the one I don't even want your money. you know, because me and you are not gonna vibe. We ain't gonna get along good, you know. And so you got to do all of that stuff. And so first that list, that consistency, and people are thinking, I don't know, you guys can chime in. I think through your consistency, people get to know who you are. They get to feel like who you are. And because there are people that I know just from social media, but because they are so consistent, I know who they are. That their brand like really rings to me. So if I see something, like I saw something from someone one time, and I said, "Well, that don't really make that." Did you? And so I said the inbox and said, "Did you post this?" Well, nope, she got hacked. It was somebody who posted something that was just way left field than what she was, you know. And so through her being consistent in posting on Facebook and posting or in sending, you know, out her newsletter, she sends it out. She sends it out every 2 weeks. But and then being true in her language, in her communications, I got to know who she was as a person. I kind of felt like I knew her personality, and I knew the things that she would engage in and she wouldn't. And so all of that stuff goes hand in hand. So we just can't create a newsletter just to get people to come to us. We got to create honest. Our newsletters, our communications have to be honest, and they have to be bold.
Yeah.
Because I don't want people coming to me and I just want to know. I got to give you me, because I just want you to know what you're getting. And because if I go to Malia's page and I get on her email and I'm Oscar the Grouch, then I ain't gonna like what she's putting out, because it's really nice, it's really sweet, it's really uplifting, it's really motivational. There are some people who don't like that. Go figure. But there are some natural grumps.
No, and I think that person naturally wouldn't be in my space, and that's something that
they might be.
Consistency as well.
Yeah. And that comes from that. They'll drop off somewhere. They're gonna drop off.
Exactly.
You know.
And I think that's a really good lead into a topic that we can talk about next week. Consistency is very important in business, and consistency in your message, consistency in your presence, and we all incorporate some type of consistency, even if it's consistently inconsistent. I think that is definitely something that we can talk about, is just how we incorporate consistency in our business, because things that I do consistently may be very different from you guys, and I'd love next week to be able to share about the consistent actions that we take in our business, because I think that some people that are out there may be struggling with consistency, and you know, I hear a lot of people, you know, who say it's just not working for me. You know, and the first thing you ask is, okay, tell me what you're doing. And they can't say anything that they're really doing consistently.
Right.
And so I think that a lot of people's frustration comes from a lack of consistency. So what do you guys think about next week coming back here and talking about the consistent actions that we talk about or that we implement into our business so we can help others create a strategy of consistency that they can apply for their own business?
I think that's cool. I think we've all been in a position where we've had to learn a lesson about consistency and how important it is to our brand and to our growth as a business. So I think everybody has learned something along the way about the value in that. And so
you've called me out on several occasions about being consistent. Stop it. And
she called me out too.
Did I call you out, or did I send you a message?
You probably did all of the above.
No, I would never call anybody out publicly. I would never do that. But I just know why, and like I told you, I know you got so much to offer, Malia. I've said this publicly. Everybody knows. I think you are one sharp cookie. I think that you are just a dynamo when it comes to marketing, and I just know you. I've been around you. I've been around you in professional settings, in business settings. We've been privately when I was coaching you. I know you have a load of information to share with entrepreneurs who are just getting started and business owners who've been in the game and just are confused in the game. So I know what you bring to the table, and I want you to. I love what I'm seeing from you. I just got to go there and say that. Because, and I told you, I'm telling you, but you guys wait on Malia's journal. It's gonna be the bomb because she's creating the content for something so phenomenal, and so you just keep and you're doing it. You are doing exactly what it is that you are teaching. You're being consistent, and it's just gonna become second nature to you.
Yeah.
I think it's already second nature to you for you to post. So that's what we all have to do. Just be consistent in sharing our business. For me, I'm a coach, so I'm on Facebook and I'm sharing tips and I'm sharing do's and don'ts. I'm doing a lot of things, but that's what people expect from me every single day.
Right.
Is to
share that because that's what you put out there, and so let's definitely think on this and bring this back next week, because I can tell you, just from personal experience, obviously, people who've known me for a while can probably have an idea of my struggle with consistency. And I think a lot of people have the same struggle. And, I can share my ideas and little things that have helped me to become a woman of consistency. And so you guys stick around. When I say bye, don't hang up. Just stay there. But for everyone who's watching, I hope that you have enjoyed your lunch break, the time here with us this afternoon. Again, get your newsletter started. Start building that list. If you want a challenge, then make sure that you create a post or some type of message inviting people to be on your newsletter. If you need to go to Aweber or Constant Contact or MailChimp or wherever that is and set one up, then do that. Put that down as something that you're going to achieve this week and get it done. We're no longer staying stuck in our business. We are here because we are moving forward and we are growing, and part of doing that is challenging yourself. So I hope you don't mind that I challenge you. Step up to the plate, become involved. Let's get actively involved in building and growing your business. I look forward to seeing you next week, where we will talk again about consistency in your message, consistency in your presence, and each of us will share stories of how consistency has impacted our very own businesses. Hopefully we won't have the tech challenges. I will get the links out for next week as soon as possible. Feel free to invite your friends or any of your downline, your business associates, anyone who you think that could benefit from time like this. Again, thank you so much for joining us for Business Intervention, and bye for now.